Welcome to the Effortless Mindfulness Podcast. I'm Loch Kelly, and this is a show about awakening to the deepest dimension of who you are by bringing together ancient wisdom and modern psychology. In today's show, we're going to explore the key transition from conventional mindfulness to non-dual effortless mindfulness. This is the turning of awareness around to become aware of awareness. Since this is a podcast, I'll introduce this with words and examples, but then I will share some mindful glimpses that offer ways to experience awareness of awareness directly. And before we get into today's episode, I wanted to mention the free 14-day trial of the Mindful Glimpses app, which many people are loving as a resource to have a daily glimpse any time of the day. Now, on to our show. Heartfelt welcome, and so glad you're here and we're all together. And just to start with a kind of a welcoming, to receive the welcoming that I'm sending to you and to welcome each other and to feel a kind of gratitude for being here and an intention to share any results, any awakening, any realization and growth with others. So we're practicing not just for ourselves, but for each other and the world and all beings. Yeah. So feel that drop from head to heart, or that openness to more space. It's kind of a boundless heart that can welcome all the parts within us, any feelings, sensations, thoughts, as we gather together and you allow yourself to arrive here and now. Yeah. So today we have the great good fortune of exploring perhaps one of the key turning points in meditative consciousness. So we've looked at the earlier stages, which many meditations are about, but today we make a transition to awareness of awareness, or awake aware mind, or the nature of mind that is called Turiya in Hinduism and Rigpa. And this is foundational. It's not just a meditation state. This is really, I consider this awakening to this and continuing on to the next two stages to be the next stage of human development. Because we're almost going from pre-verbal infants that are dependent on others when we're growing up and learning, and we learn language and we become school age and independent, and we create this small separate sense of self, these part-based identity. And this is the opportunity to recognize and realize an already installed awake, aware mind that includes everything. So let's just put up the those 5 levels of mind just to quickly review and have a visual support. First 2 levels of mind, the everyday mind, which we all know and live in and have been trying to improve. And then we explored in the last session the subtle mind, subtle body. So this is where we move from everyday mind using attention as the type of awareness to subtle mind, where we use this mindful witness to look at the contents of consciousness, or we drop out of that parts-based ego manager into our body through body practices, dance and chanting and yoga and into a relief from everyday mind through going to subtle body or this witness consciousness. Now we're going to turn to awake aware mind. And the key is that you're only going to need to recognize and realize this for 3 seconds. And then in order to be aware in the world, you have to go from awake aware mind to unity mind, at least, if not heart mind. So you can be in this recognition of this spacious, thought-free, clear mind. Mind is used just as to mean knowing. So it's thought-free. So for today, we're just going to see if we can just have this insight into whether it's true or not for you, that you can get a glimpse of it. That's all. Then we'll be moving on to unity mind and heart minds. I'm going to read a quote from one of the Tibetan teachers, Noshil Ken Rinpoche, to describe this awake aware mind. So the description of it is as we first recognize it, we leave the mind and become aware of it. And then the key is to be aware as it. And that's all we're going to need. Once you realize there is a mind or an awareness that can be aware of thought that's not based on thought, it opens the door to a new level of living. It gives you more space. Yeah, you may have heard the quote from another famous space, The Final Frontier from Star Trek. So this is awake space, the next frontier. And here's the quote from Noshil Ken Rinpoche describing awake awareness. Profound and tranquil, free from complexity, uncompounded, luminous clarity, beyond the mind of conceptual ideas. This is the depth of mind of the awakened ones. In this here, there is not a thing to be removed, nor anything that needs to be added. It is merely the immaculate looking naturally at itself. So this is the key, is that we're going to realize that it's not a slow process of meditation, that it literally is like a tuning out or changing the channel, that it can't be done slowly. You can do slow preparation, which we'll do a little bit. So the slow preparation of the everyday mind and the subtle mind is to calm the nervous system, which we've done and we'll do a little bit today, and then to recognize in the subtle mind the different parts that might be resistant or scared of letting go. Work with them, appreciate them, thank them for their hard work, let them know that we're just going to shift for a few minutes. We're just going to the kitchen to get some food, and we'll be right back. So where we're going is to this which they've been looking for, this capacity, this support, this unconditional love, this freedom. And then we'll include them, the body, the mind, the parts, when we come back. But the first thing we want to explore today is this, just to see whether awareness can be aware of itself. by itself, as itself. So that's a lot of itselfs, and that's a lot of words. So we'll be getting to that. But let's look at first kind of a simple description of the direct path from another original teacher named Garib Dorje. So these are considered the three vital points. So this is the key to what we're doing. So you'll just directly recognize your true nature. So whatever preparation you do, calming, working with parts, at some point, snap, directly recognize. So this is the key, is it's not a, you can do gradual path until you get here, or you can do semi-direct, semi-gradual, or not so gradual. But when you get to this place of awake awareness, you have to directly recognize it. And then you have to know for yourself this is true. So this is going to be the key. The first unique new thing is that I'm speaking to your spacious and local awareness, awake awareness, that then will unhook or let go or unblend and recognize itself as thought-free awareness that's alert, just for a glimpse. Then the know for yourself it's true is you can't go back to thought to check whether you've got it, right? You can't go back for a second opinion to the thinking mind. So when you directly recognize today, you get a glimpse of this awareness that's aware, feels spacious, open, clear, and then the curious wondering is, are you aware of the awareness, or are you aware as the awareness? Is the awareness effortlessly aware by itself? And pretty much that's it. If you get that, then the key is that this palpable but invisible knowing, more like if you more like a feeling knowing, then it's not a thought-based knowing. It's not a confirmation from thought, and it's not a confirmation from the kind of metacognition, the checker or the judge or the critic. Yeah. And then once you have this feeling of knowing, you decide for yourself whether it's true, and then proceed with trust in spontaneous unfolding. And spontaneous unfolding is learning to return and making it a habit. Yeah. We'll be doing this in this session and a few other sessions. But today we really want to play with this move of turning awareness around or opening it up, looking rather than pulling back as we did with subtle mind and mindful witness, where you step out and look at the changing contents of consciousness. We're going to turn awareness around and be curious to feel what is awareness itself like when it's primarily the subject and object. This is the project. Let's do this, a version of one of the ones we did last session, and then get a taste and then continue to explore. Yeah. So let's find a comfortable way of sitting. So we're going to do this one. This is the one called content to contentless awareness. So you can do it eyes open or closed. This one tends to be, either one's fine. So whatever you're comfortable with. It'll be a pointing glimpse. So find a comfortable way of sitting, lay your eyes closed or open, Probably if you need to make a choice, closed is better. And we'll just begin to be aware of any parts that are around. And particularly curious about three parts that tend to be ones that prevent most people that I've heard from recognizing awake awareness. The first one is a part that really wants to get it and try to understand it the way it's understood other things so it can have accomplished it. So this kind of doer and, very good intentioned one that wants to know awake awareness and learn how to do it. And so I can do it again. So it's still got this part that thinks that the doer can awaken or get or know awake awareness. So just letting that part know, thank you for your hard work. And you can relax because you'll get the benefit, but you are not needed right now. And then notice another part that tends to come up if it happens to be there for you. It is a doubting part or a shame-based part or a dejected part that says, oh, I'll never get it, or I'll give it a try, but it's not likely. Other people will get it. I won't get it. So see if you can find that in and around your body. And it believes, I'm not going to get this. So let that part know, thank you very much. You are correct. You are not going to get this. And you're a young child part. You don't have to get this. It will come to you later. So you can relax and not try to get it and not worry about failing to get it because you don't need to be involved in this work. Just rest back. And then the third part is the one we worked with in last session, the thinker or the ego manager, the smart part that just has heard about awakening, has tried some, feels like it's got some benefits, but it's still thinking it has to keep checking with thought to know, to confirm. And you can just let it know it can rest and be beginner's mind. And then the last part is a part that might be afraid of letting go, a part that is maybe has some fear that I don't want to let go. I don't want to be out of control. I want to avoid the void. I want to not become nobody. And just let this part know, thank it for its concern and safety, and let it know that's not where we're going. We're not spacing out. We're not leaving. We're not abandoning. We're not going out of control. We're upgrading to this awake mind, which is loving and inclusive. And we'll be right back. So ask this part if it will just give you a few minutes to see whether this is what it longs for as well. Yeah. So now let's just check your brain, body, and nervous system. Check to see whether there's any residual. Let your awareness scan your brain and your mind to see whether there's any fight, flight, or freeze, any agitation or worry, and just being aware without judging and without trying to fix. See if there's any sleepiness or overexertion, any pain. And then let this awareness drop down from your brain, from your head, and continue down through your body. So your local awareness is now embodying, dropping below your neck, and being aware of your whole body directly from within, through your nervous system, through your cells, through the space and the awareness, inside and out. And just check again as you're aware of the contents first, aware of any pain, any tiredness, any contraction around trying to protect anything. Notice that this is the habit of parts, and safety is to contract. If it's cold, you contract. And just allow this to be noticed without judging, without trying to fix anything, without changing anything, just allowing everything to be as it is. And now, as you're aware of your body, your mind, its contents of brain and pleasant and unpleasant feelings, just allow that awareness that's aware from within and all around to make this simple, interested, curious turn to be aware of itself, to open to more space, not a location of attention, but to a more spacious awareness that's within and all around. And then just be more curious about the pure nature of awareness. Things can still be moving, dancing, pulling, but see whether you can feel whether awareness, like a bubble of air, can return and rest as awareness mingles with space and notices the markers of thought-free, limitless. Check to see if there's any limit, any need to go to thought to be alert. Notice the freedom from suffering of this dimension. Notice that in this awareness that's awake, there's no worry or fear, no tiredness or grasping, no fight or flight or freeze. Just notice if there's any checking with the mind, let that happen within the field, just not going back to the thought for a second opinion. Feel open, but not spaced out. Feel the awareness that's equally aware from within and all around. So it's everywhere, nowhere, and here. Timeless. Notice there's no need to go to thought, no need to go to sleep, no need to go a moment into memory in the past, no need to anticipate one moment into the future, and to let present moments come and go. So you're not in the present moment, you're in this eternal now. Both feeling you're aware of this and noticing its effortless quality. That this is happening by itself. That unlike concentration, you're not doing it. So rest into this awareness that's clear and alert. Rest as this. And as any contraction or parts or come back, just recognize them and just open within them to the subtler, very subtlest dimension so they can still be, but you're just 51% surrendered into this awareness that's aware of itself by itself without your help. Just recognizing it for a few glimpses. Could this be the nature of mind from which you can be aware of thoughts or feelings or sensations in a more spacious and interconnected way? But just now, what's it like to unplug from conditioning and discover that awareness that has your back? It's all around, behind you, above you, below you, within you. And effortlessly free and clear. And if you get taken back by heart or thought, you can always return, unhook, drop, open, rest. It's always here. Just notice whether it's true. So recognize this true nature, this dimension of awareness, and now decide from the awareness. See if you can find its knowing quality. Is this awareness, can it decide or know this is real, this is alert, this is me, this is free, this isn't spaced out, this is clear and could be then joined with all movement and appearances and parts in a welcoming capacity. So as you feel that, seeing how you feel toward your body, energy, these parts in the room, start mixing and moving toward unity mind and toward bodhicitta, toward heart mind, toward safety, ease, well-being, and capacity to be with parts that don't have well-being or ease from this greater expanse that's right here within. And so just allow that unity. So rather than going back to everyday mind, so you can just kind of come forward, include from this glimpse of awake, aware mind, the energy arising like an ocean of awareness, rising like a wave of your body, thoughts, parts, and see how you feel toward your body and the room, and begin to open your senses. Feel the sense of the earth, your feet, or sitting in a chair, cushion. Take feeling the next breath, cool air from outside to inside, connecting seamlessly. Let your self sense pleasant and unpleasant. hearing sounds without labeling, and gently letting your eyes open softly, remaining dropped, open, and inclusive. See whether you don't have to reconfigure a thinker, but can find this awake, loving flow, this unity of awareness and aliveness that has a more whole view, feeling of presence or safety, ground. So that was one introduction that kind of brought us from everyday mind to subtle mind body. It pointed out, it's kind of a longer one. So just stay with it. And again, just notice when you pop back into everyday mind as you stretch now, let yourself stretch from within as if your intelligence of your awareness and your body are unified and know what to do to make yourself feel comfortable and here without going back to identify with any parts that start to arise. So starting to welcome. So one of the key transitions is stay open and inclusive and really don't try to keep parts and thoughts away. Just start to actually welcome them. Like, oh, whoa, what should I wonder what, I don't know if that was it. Oh, thank you for sharing. So whatever rises, yeah, oh, there you are. So that you are the welcomer. You're the welcomer in the guest house, yeah? That which can welcome any emotion, thought, feeling. It's not so much about what arises, what emotions or detoxing or moving through or part of your day or phase of your life, but who or what is it arising to? What is the new constellation? So this move is what we're doing. We're not trying to fix each of the small issues. We're trying to upgrade the operating system, which has the capacity and love and wisdom, so that there's no agenda of the teaching. The teaching is you look, you shift, you tell me what's the new view. How does this new you and new view relate to pleasant and unpleasant, which will continue. Let's keep going toward this by looking at the four of the main reasons why we've missed awake awareness. Yep. So, this is the question is like, if this is so amazing, if this is so essential, if this is the next stage of human development, why haven't we recognized it during our lifetime? So the first one is it's so close we can't see it. So this means that we're looking from it. And that the awareness is behind us, which is why we'll do some practices of literally turning awareness around to look to the awareness behind our back or our headless space above our shoulders. But the key is that we've created a mind that's identified with awareness, and we move awareness to the middle. Like, I am aware of something, but thought can't be aware of awareness. And so as soon as we realize how close it is, we can feel it. We're looking for it. We're trying to understand it, which is the second one. So it's so subtle, we can't understand it. It's so non-conceptual that we can't know it with our minds. So we're trying to understand it. What do you mean? Awareness is aware of awareness. So let me try to be aware of the awareness. Let me understand what that's like. So thought can't know awareness. The ego can't know it. Will can't know it. Attention can't know awake awareness if it remains that flashlight of attention. And we can't understand it. We have to shift out and hand the baton of knowing and understanding to the awareness based knowing. And the third one, it's so simple, we can't believe it. So, just that, are you aware of the contents of your body and pleasant or unpleasant? Now turn the awareness to be aware of what's aware of the contents. And it's like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh, that's like there's no thought, it's aware, it's clear. Okay. So what's the big deal? So so it seems that we've missed it because it's like it doesn't have fireworks. It's not like Kundalini or angels singing, oh, or like the effects can sometimes be like someone described a release of energy, but that's not awake awareness. That's the effect or the qualities of peace and joy and safety come from it, but the awareness itself is simple. It's in fact it's invisible, and we've missed it because we've thought it was a gap. We thought it was like in art, right? They call when you're doing a still life, you call it negative space, right? So we're calling this positive friendly space that is awake space, but its initial feeling is just so simple. It's like it's lacking the positive qualities that will come when we continue on to unity mind and heart mind. So it's missed as a foundation. Yeah. So simple we can't believe it. That's it. That's what they call awake mind. Nothing. The the unfindability is the true finding, is what they say. So, and then the fourth is when it does start coming into unity mind and heart mind, that it's so good we can't accept it. It's like when the positive qualities release the safety, the unconditional love, the feeling of, the sense of innocence that's prior to shame, sense of goodness, basic goodness. It's so good. And it's who we are. That's the thing. It's not only good, it's like the goodness is who we are. Basic goodness. That it's hard for us, our parts, our ego to accept that this is who we are. We thought there must be something to get rid of. There must be something that's darker that we'll have to clean up and clean out in order to find. It's like, no, it's already here. It's already welcoming, loving, unconditionally. And it's me, greater than who I am and essentially who I am. So good. So close, we can't see it. So subtle or non conceptual, we can't understand it. So simple, can't believe it. And so good, we can't accept it. So this is the focus for today, is this very simple recognition and realization of this awake space, this non-conceptual alertness. It's just alert. It's not yet inclusive of aliveness and unity and same taste, but just this unplugging and this familiarizing, and as the Garib Dorje three moves of is directly recognized, but then the deciding it's true or it's real. Like, is this real? Is this my mind? Could this be the freedom that I've been looking for, the foundation of? And it's just a leaving of, or a unplugging from conditioned. It's not just thought, but it's the whole unconscious conditioning, trauma, uh, parts, judging mind, finding this other dimension, which, if you stop there, is called spiritual bypass. So this is why we have two more levels, because there are many systems and teachings that do stop at psychological cleaning up in everyday mind, other systems that stop in mindful witness, and even just go to kind of open awareness as choiceless awareness, or and then this one is, or the gap. Another group will stop at no self, or centerlessness, or headlessness, or um, just this, without then going to awake, that the emptiness is awake. Then the whole group of people and maps will stop at I am pure awareness, everything else is a movie. And I just need to remain in this pure awareness and walk around, and there's nobody here that's real. There's nobody named Loch. It's an illusion. It's just the awareness that's who I am. And you can, when you ask somebody, would you like some tea? And they say, all tea is the same. It's okay. Whatever you give me is fine. I go to the grocery store and things end up in my cart, and there's no doer or chooser. So there's a whole way to kind of go from a spiritual bypass to what I call an intellectual bypass, where you kind of create because my experience is you can't be aware. You can be alert and still in awareness of awareness, but as soon as you move or include the world, your body, and anything, it has to either go backwards to a part, or to subtle mind, meditator, or to everyday mind, or it has to go forward into same taste or unity mind, interconnection, which is a whole different direction. You can't walk around in pure awareness, but it is the kind of linchpin um, of moving from this very strong conditioned stage of human development that needs its introduction to the nature of mind, and then how to come home is the next great adventure. So spacious awareness, which is like the sky, which is here all the time, pure, it's equally within and all around. So when awareness as a bubble is identified or attached, and in IFS, they say, are you aware of this part that's a thinker? Yes. Can you ask it for some space so you can be aware of it? And then we do, and now can you be aware of that mindful witness and the part from this more spacious and eventually pervasive? So there's this local awareness that is made of the spacious awareness, local. And when you're in unity mind, you actually can focus effortlessly from the awake mind rather than the moving thinking mind. And you can, it's almost like the awareness is at some level separate and at some level connected to the object of your focus. so that the mind and the field don't have to rely on the chattering mind and the moving mind that's going to daydream and that has. So, in order to uh, to move from being identified or attached, we're going to move awareness. We're going to have it literally unhook itself from thinking, which is in Buddhism considered the sixth sense. So it's just one of the senses that has becomes the when it becomes the seventh consciousness. It's called the afflictive consciousness because it becomes identified and creates a small self. So we're just reverse engineering, unhooking from this sense and moving to seeing. And then we're going to move to hearing. So awareness will decenter from the usual point of view, which is usually most people here, and go to another sense, then to hearing. And then that local awareness is going to open to the space in which sound is coming and going, and then mingle with space that's both outside and within. Yeah, so it's a way to go within and then open up out and then come back within. So that's the practice. So certainly the first one you could do open-eyed when awareness goes from thinking to seeing. It's very interesting. And then you could close your eyes when you go to hearing and space or not, depending on your interest and practice. And certainly, just to say at this time that you do have, who's ever watching this has a recording to go back and do these things again. So you can do it again slowly. One eye is open, one eye is closed. See which one you like. Try it again. This is the beauty of this. So here we go. So again, just settle in, stretch, or adjust your body to feel like you're arriving. Acknowledge any parts that may, like, I have no idea what he's talking about. No need, because the awareness is the one who's doing this. The thinker's not, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to you. Okay? Talking to you, the already awake awareness that's identified, asking you to unhook. So this is the amazing feeling that the awareness is already going to be aware of itself and has agency. It can move itself to seeing. It can move itself within the field of awareness and the field of your body to hearing, and then it can move itself to mingle with space and recognize itself, awareness of itself. So let's try that. Okay, so sitting in a posture that is good posture, and then just begin to notice where are you hearing these words from? So where is the location of the part that is getting ready to do something? And find a location and find that pattern of thinking or that part that's trying to understand, even though it may understand. Yes, I know I'm understanding, but I have to let go. And, don't worry, I understand that, I'm not really the one who's doing. So that one. So just right now, find that and ask it for some space so you can be aware of it. And then come back and feel what it's like to be identified with this part. To be identified means the awareness is blended with the part. It's a cloud covering the sky, and you're contracted and identified or blended with it. The awareness that's always here is obscured. So now I'm going to talk to the awake consciousness that is locally identified. and just ask that awareness to move from thinking and a thinker, unhook and drop and move to another sense and join with seeing. So just seeing. So not referring to thought, not labeling what you're seeing, not focused on a seer, but just feel how awareness that knows itself has intentionality or agency and can move within the field of your body and move in the field of spacious awareness and change the view or the felt sense as you decenter and feel seeing without a seer. Just notice that you don't have to check with thought in order to just see. If you label something, that's thinking. Just seeing is direct perception. And now let awareness, just as it is curiously and innocently joined with another sense, let it move itself and feel the shift when it unhooks from seeing and moves to just hearing. So really let awareness at both ears or one ear really change the view of what you're perceiving, what's primary, and feel the center, decenter, moving to this other sense, and feel the curiousness that your awareness was able to move and change your consciousness, that it's not the thinker or the doer that's moving awareness. It's not making it move, it's moving itself. Or at least be open to that as like, interesting. So awareness is now aware at this very small area of hearing. So just notice, what's it like if you don't focus on what you're hearing, don't have to label it, and don't create a hearer. What's it like if there's hearing without a hearer? Awareness and hearing. Just this. And just as this local intelligence has moved itself one sense to another, it can move from that very small sense of where sound is coming at one of your ears or both, and then curiously let that globe of awareness open to the space in which sound is coming and going. And as that awareness opens, let it be aware of the sound moving through the space, and then let the awareness be aware of the space from the space. Let the awareness mingle with the space and return to the spacious awareness that's equally outside and within. If it's to the left and to the right, it's within. It's this field of awareness. It's in front, above, below. And curiously, see if you can feel the awareness behind your back. And feel the awareness behind your back, from behind your back, and all around and within. As if the awareness behind you is within you and looks out of your whole body. So just notice this spacious awareness that's aware of itself primarily, not spacing out, but see if you can find a clear day sky, alert, aware, invisible, nothing to reject, nothing to push away, nothing to get, but not going down to sleep, resting as that which is deeper than sleep and wide awake, clear, and could respond. So just notice whether you're aware of this awareness and now resting as this awareness, whether you can start to be aware from this awareness as it moves from the sky to a kind of mingling ocean of awareness arising as vibration, sensation, thought, feeling, different parts of yourself, your body, and the room. But staying a little more primarily awake awareness, but feeling the clear wave of energy of your cloud of sensation of your body and the sense of physical, energetic, and awake space is the primary mind to which everything's arising as not separate from the awareness. So the awareness becomes the ocean and the dancing waves start to be the same taste. But the key is, what is it like to not go to thought or apart to be the center, or to have to check, to trust, start to trust the spontaneous unfolding of this knowing that has a peace of mind from the ears silence, from the body stillness. That which doesn't come and go, that's arising as that which comes and goes. And just staying a little more in that which doesn't come and go. So just the key is that, can you just for 1 second to 3 seconds not space out, not go to daydream, not go to thought, not go to sleep. Those are the normal states. But find this alert sky like clarity that can be aware of anything. And it may then lose it, no big surprise. Just learn to re recognize. So now, as you come back and feel equally spacious and pervasive, that your local awareness has now dropped from thinking to seeing to hearing to space and now to fully embodied, feel your whole body from within, from toes to legs to body, so that your feet and your head are at different ends, but they're no more central. Your head is no more central than your feet. Your whole being is, humanness is equal, and your awake consciousness isn't located in your head. It's located in the field and then your human body. So wholeness and clarity, peace of mind. So two of the two of the ways that people get caught back or get taken back is going back to thought, and the other is getting bored back by peace of mind. Because you start getting peace of mind here, and you're going like, okay, one part of you comes up and goes like, where's all the drama? Come on, we got to get some excitement here. So, so that people get bored back. It's like peace, like, but what happens is when you get to unity mind and heart mind, awake, loving flow, you're back in the action of the world, and you're like, let's go. You're enjoying, but you're not in the drama and the fight and flight of that world. You're in the kind of doing from being. Find another comfortable way to sit, and we'll just do this for a short period. And you can, of course, listen to these instructions again and keep doing it on your own for as long as you like. Because as I lead, I'm going to let you start to do it on your own. And you can do it as long as you like. So, all right, sitting comfortably, allowing yourself. Take a little deeper breath, let go of any holding, arrive in your body. Open to that already spacious awake awareness. Notice your breath happening by itself. And notice that awareness is happening by itself. And now, using the sixth sense and this very important tool, which is intentional thought, just choose to say and hear the word blah. Arise and pass. And notice the space. And then when you're ready, intentionally say within and hear blah. And then rest in the space. You're aware of the space as the space, silence, stillness. And again, whatever timing feels right, rhythm, blah. And again, in your own time, blah. And now, as you say this word blah, notice the space and notice the awareness mingling with the space. So you're aware of the space as the space. And say the word blah. And now notice the awareness of the space and the awareness arising as the movement of sound and words as not separate. Blah. Space. Awareness. Not separate. And just notice that the awareness is the mind that chooses to say the word. And when the word arises, it's not separate. It's like a wave of awareness that has no threat, no hold over you. And space is friendly, silence, and playfully find that unity of movement stillness, space, all arising as, to, and from awareness. Okay. So you can come back to this later. So just open your eyes, notice the space in the room, notice the movement, the stillness of objects, and the awareness that's connected to which everything's arising out of, and to. Enjoy your week. I hope you enjoyed this episode and the glimpses. If you did, rather than ask for a donation, we would rather you give this podcast a short rating and review. This is by far the best way to help us get this podcast and Effortless Mindfulness in front of more people. I also encourage you to head over to lochkelly.org to check out the events and the 14-day free trial of the Mindful Glimpses app. Thanks so much. Until next time, take care.